Bitcoin mining stocks have been really taking off this week. And so in this video, I wanted to just go over a number of charts and take a look at some of the trade setups that I can see that are about to play out. So to start things off, obviously, disclaimer, this is not financial advice, just for educational purposes only, as usual. On the screen here, I've got bitcoinminingstock.io, which is a new website that I've been putting together. And so the idea here is that this is going to be a one-stop hub for Bitcoin mining stock related info. Later in the week, when you're watching this video, probably there'll be more features added, like percentage price increase and that sort of thing. It's just a work in progress on a day-by-day sort of basis. And you can come in here and click on various Bitcoin mining stocks, and shows a bit more info about that, a bit of a chart and information about the company. But yeah, as I said, currently working on adding more functionality to the site. And we do want to show things like hash rate, metrics, and that sort of thing. But yeah, stocks have been blowing up this week in the Bitcoin mining space. I think a few days ago, this total Bitcoin miner market cap was showing less than 25 billion, but now it's over 32 billion. So yeah, we've had a bit of a boost, and the whole crypto market, for that matter, has had a bit of a boost. I would say that is closely related. So let's take a look here at the performance of Bitcoin mining stocks compared to BTC. So this is 2024 year to date, and we've got BTC USD here at a 50% gain since the start of this year. And there are a number of Bitcoin mining stocks that have outperformed a BTC. Number one being Core Scientific. And if you've been following the news, they just came out of a restructuring. They were previously bankrupt, but they restructured, I believe, and they've paid off any debts that they owed, and now they're performing really well coming out of that. We've also got Wolf, CleanSpark, Iris Energy, Hut, and Cypher. These are all stocks that are outperforming BTC, and I think there's a good chance that we'll see a lot more of that happening in the following months, and also some of these other ones might start to outperform BTC. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see how things are going. But certainly there does seem to be a few stocks here that are more popular than others. Let's put it that way. Zooming out, basically the scale here is looking from the bear market lows to now. And you'll see some of the same names are up there. So obviously these ones have been doing pretty well recently. Now, the first chart here is Marathon. What I can see going on here is that there is a multi-year rising wedge formation. Typically, this is a bearish pattern, but I've just set it up here as with a bullish target. You'll see why in a minute. But another way to look at this is there was an inverted head and shoulders just here. And so that broke out. It did hit the target that was intended for it here based on the Fibonacci extension. But now it's come back down, and based upon this, it looks like it just retested that neckline. And now we're starting to take off again. So that's another way to look at this. And the bull trend is intact, and I guess it's going to continue going higher. So another rising wedge. This one broke out to the upside. This is Iris Energy. It hit the target based upon the Fibonacci extension and has since retraced back down. For the moment, I would say this trade is done. If you are holding this, it might have been good to take some profit up there if you were watching that. It did double, essentially, after the breakout. So that is a good trade, and yeah, things are looking pretty bullish, like across the board, as I said. So who knows, it may just continue going up, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, this is CleanSpark on the multi-year time frame, and this looks like a bit of a symmetrical triangle sort of formation or pennant. Obviously, we are sitting at the upper resistance of that now. Potentially, if you want to look at it differently, this might also be like an Adam and Eve, very large Adam and Eve here, and the neckline would be up at this level, which is around $50. But zooming in to where we are now, this looks like the consolidation at the resistance is a bit of a descending triangle, a bit messy, but currently it does look like it is making an attempt to break out. And the Fibonacci extension is showing a target of $30 to $34. So that looks like a good trade to me. That is currently in progress or just getting started. So that's like at least 50% gains there. Moving on to Riot, another rising wedge, or depending how you want to look at it, this kind of looks like a inverted head and shoulders with this blue line being the neckline. But yeah, zooming in again, there is a smaller formation here on the lower time frames. Looks a bit like a flag, and based upon the range there, showing a target of about 28 to 35 in the short term there if this breaks up from about $15. Now we're at TeraWulf. This is another pattern that you'll see repeated a few times in some of the other stocks that we look at soon, but it's the Adam and Eve, and this trade has played out perfectly. It's in the target zone now, and this is a good area to take profit to some extent if you were in that trade. But yeah, this is basically textbook definition of perfect trade, and that's what we're looking for. This is Bitdeer now, an inverted head and shoulders. This one looks pretty clear to me as well. It's been forming for more than a year now, so more than 12-month inverted head and shoulders. Target for this one is showing $20 to $25 basically, and it still hasn't broken out yet, so keep an eye on that one. That's probably going to be a good one if that plays out. And another Adam and Eve looking pattern here on Hut 8. And the target for this one is showing about $33 to $40. Keep an eye on that. It's looking pretty good to me. Now we're on Cypher. This one's a bit weird, depending how you want to look at it again. You could say this is an Adam and Eve, although the second part here is not very deep, but it looks similar, or some kind of triangle in here. Either way, it looks like it's broken out of that at this point in time over the last few days, or the last day of trading, and target for that is about $8 to $10. So got a few more dollars to go there in the near term before you start to take profit. Bitfarms, another one of those rising wedges. Again, no guarantees that this is a bullish pattern. Like typically in the textbooks, this is a bearish pattern that breaks down, although as you've seen, it can go either way. So keep an eye on that, see what is happening there. Obviously, in my opinion, I would say there are better trades based upon some of the ones that we just looked at that were bullish patterns. Another, oh well, you can call this an Adam and Eve or double bottom, I guess, but it's in progress or hasn't broken out yet, but keep an eye on that one. It's one that you could still get in on if it plays out. Looking at a breakout past $5 and the target of 6.5 to 7.7 or so dollars. And Hive, again, this is another triangle sort of wedge formation, multi-year. So yeah, this has been going on since mid-2022. If that breaks, could be a sign that it's coming out of the bear market and it's waking up. The target for these is like, it really just depends on where you measure it from, and so not everyone's going to do this the same. I have measured some of these on other assets in the last year, and none of them have hit the target. And in fact, many of them crash back down, some other cryptocurrencies. So, you might want to go and measure the high to low from maybe this point as being the low and this point here being the high. And that's going to measure to somewhere at about like 7.5 here. That would be a more conservative target for this one once it breaks out. But yeah, it just depends on your personal preference, I guess. And finally, this is Mawson Infrastructure, and they've got an inverted head and shoulders in progress. Currently, the right shoulder, we're at the bottom of the right shoulder here, basically, and so I presume this is going to head up to about 420. And then the neckline is at 420 there, but once that breaks out, target of $6 to $7.5. That's probably another good trade there that I will be looking at. And yeah, there's a few more mining stocks I didn't cover, but it's much of the same. These were probably the most reliable patterns out of the bunch. If you like this video, make sure you're subscribed, then head over to bitcoinminingstock.io/blog and subscribe to the newsletter for free Bitcoin mining industry insights. Me and Cindy Fong are publishing a bunch of stuff over here, so go and check it out. And thanks very much for your support. We'll see you in the next video.